All right, so how do you want to intro this thing in?
I don't know. What you call it?
Like, do we want to do a bit or?
What did you call it? Intro it like you did the last one with the welcome people from Beach City to the home world and so on and so forth.
I straight up don't remember how that goes. Time to look myself up on the internet.
The bits.
From Homeworld to Beach City and all the cosmos in between, this is The Bits, a Steven Universe podcast with Sam
And Jonathan.
All right, everybody. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. My voice sounds terrible.
Yeah. It's not terrible.
At least it's audible. We were wanting to talk about Wanted when it actually came out, but I think we decided on bronchitis. I had bronchitis, and it left me without a voice for a little over a week. So now we've got it up to the strength where I can talk for long periods. And so the first thing we're going to do is talk about a children's cartoon.
Whoa.
Jonathan had said, I don't know if he said it in the last podcast or just in the comment below the last podcast, that if Wanted had something worth talking about, we'd talk about it.
Yeah.
And boy, did it.
Yeah. What did you call it? I saw the first episode and I was just like, I don't know. And then the rest of it came out and I was like, okay, yeah, there's something.
Fair enough. So we're going to go ahead. We got 4 episodes to cover for this hour-long Steven Universe special, Wanted. So we're going to dive right in with the first episode, Stuck Together. Jonathan. Confusion.
The bits?
Perfect. Jonathan, do you want to sum up... Gracious. Do you want to sum up Stuck Together for us?
Do you want me to? Because this is the one I didn't like.
You know, you put it like that, I think there's all the more reason for you to.
So, Steven continues being captured by Aquamarine, the worst villain, and Topaz.
Right. And Topaz.
Yeah, and Topaz. Like, I have no beef with Topaz, but Topaz only got a character in this episode. So it was kind of like, okay, Topaz is a character. But, yeah, we continue after the last Steven Bomb, where he was captured and put on a ship to Homeworld. Steven believes that he got everybody out before the ship set out, but guess who's still there?
MC Lars.
Oh, hey, sweetie. Or cutie.
Oh, gosh. That's a reference that won't make sense to most people.
Yeah. Watch our MC Lars video for that.
If the little eye thing on your screen in the corner popped up, click that.
Yeah.
Also, if that popped up, that means we know how to put that in now, which is cool. So
I put it in the last video.
All right, well.
It was imagine this as a cookie cat.
Perfect.
That's what I did in lieu of audio. That's annotations. But, yeah. Lars is still on the ship, and he gets captured with Steven once more, and they try to make it off. Which doesn't seem to be successful.
There's a lot of angst and a lot of crying.
Yeah. So, what did you think about this episode?
Well, just like last time, I have my little while I was watching notes. And as I was reading through them before, a lot of them are mostly just gripes with how things were delivered. Like, my first note says, Steven, why did you think that calling off the deal would make a difference? The point where Lars is on the ship and Steven says, hey, there's still a human on there, so the deal's off. And Aquamarine's like, no, we're still going to Homeworld. Like, Steven, they're villains. Yeah. They're not going to turn around and drop you off.
Well, at least she's true to her villain role.
Which leads me to my next point, where she's mocking what she thinks is rose quartz. Aquamarine's talking about, oh, you're making me cry. And then she says, just kidding, that's my gem. That felt like a really dumb line.
Yeah.
And
Aquamarine's a really dumb character.
Fair. It felt like an episode 1 or 2 of a series line of like, that's my gem. What's a gem? And then they explain what a gem is. And while I was watching this, I realized that Aquamarine reminds me of, I don't even remember his name in Naruto. Jonathan, could you put it up on the screen for me?
Okay.
But he was the dude from the first episode that he steals the Shadow Clone Jutsu scroll and he uses the giant shurikens. And and he literally just exists to get Naruto to get his protagonist powers.
I think he comes back like way, way later.
I know they made a toy of his weapon, but that's not either here or there. I feel like Aquamarine is that character, but she showed up too late to the whole overarching thing.
Yeah. And I hope she never comes back, but she's probably going to come back, and I won't care.
I mean, fair enough. Like, she'll come back. She definitely will. They've spent too much time on her not to.
I don't want her to.
I mean, no one does, but she'll be back.
I should stop complaining.
Oh, no, please do. We've got some time to fill for this episode. Why not? Another thing I didn't care for Aquamarine was the dumb meme face they gave her. Like when Steven said, like, look into your heart, and they pause for like 3 seconds on her making a disgusted, overly detailed face that you know they were trying to make a meme.
Oh, what'd you call it? I'd see that as more of a cartoon trope.
I don't know. Like, we didn't see that as much in early Steven episodes, you know?
Yeah. But I'd say I've seen the gag done like the what you call it, joke in SpongeBob where essentially the same joke happens and like Squidward, you call it, doesn't it give you a happy face or whatever, and then what you call it, he just points to his face and he has a really sour one on and it's realistic and everything.
Yeah, but she kept talking. So she replied to it twice. Once with her face, and then after she got done with that statement, she made another one with her words. And it just...
well executed.
It felt like it stopped the story.
I got you.
So, let's see. I'm going to just kind of highlight these as I go so I'm not missing anything.
Gotcha.
Jonathan, if you want to cover another point while I sit here and do this.
Yeah. Essentially, I didn't care for the back and forth between her and Steven. It was kind of just like, villain banner, I'm so better than you. She kind of reminded me of Princess from Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, kinda.
Like, just absolute snobby. I'm the best. Oh my gosh, you could never defeat me.
Only
Type
difference
stuff.
was that Princess from the Powerpuff Girls had a character development.
Yeah. Don't give Aquamarine a redemption arc. Or an arc period.
Give her a whole season, Aquamarine side story.
Good gosh. Give her a SD series.
Gracious. While Aquamarine was being a plot-stopping character, the episode mostly revolves around Topaz being a vessel for Lars and Steven, keeping them captive, and they have to figure out how to escape. And in their frustration, they have a heart-to-heart where Lars is super angsty about helping Steven and already giving up. And then Steven's like, "What's your problem, dude? Like, there's literally no reason not to fight right now." And then Lars is like, "Well, what if I don't think that I can fight at all?" And it's like, "Oh, okay, you're sad. I got you. But be sad somewhere else." And Lars says, "Okay."
Yeah. See, this is an understandable, like, touching moment of Lars experience emotions and stuff, but when you've gone through, like, seasons of not doing this, and also an episode that does it way better when they're on the island and everything, I was just like, Lars, please shut up and actually do something.
Yeah, that part felt a little weird to me, but when we got to the point of, like, him talking to Steven saying, "Hey, you have all this potential and you think that I can do anything," like, that part was cool because it was going back to their original dynamic of Steven being the annoying little kid looking up to Lars, who's just some guy, but Steven thinks he's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool. Like, it was a framing kind of thing of, Steven, you look at me like I can do anything when you can actually do anything. And even though I don't act like it, I look at you the same way that you used to look at me. And I don't know, I thought that was cool. The line where they're both crying and Steven just admits that he's glad Lars is there, and he says, "I just don't really want to be alone right now."
Yeah.
That was heartbreaking.
That was sad.
Because, like, Lars was always trying to get Steven to leave, and Steven just always wanted to hang out with him. And now when things have gotten serious and Steven's grown up so much, it's just like, yeah, I'm still happy that you are here, even though you never wanted to be around me to begin with.
I think at this point I was still stuck on the point of I wanted anybody else to be stuck on the ship with Steven besides Lars.
What you got against Lars, man?
What you call it? Just, I don't know. Him and Ronaldo kind of run back their progress in characters.
Don't bring Ronaldo into this like he matters.
But yeah, what you call it? Before the baking episode, where I was just like, okay, this is a good Lars episode. I like this. It's just like, Lars can be kind of good, but just I've never liked what you call it, him and Steven's dynamic. It's like if Reggie and Archie were handcuffed on somewhere, and I was just like, Reggie. Why not Jughead? I like Jughead.
Because then they would have actually gotten away. If it was Sadie, they would have been back. Topaz would have been a crystal gem.
Yeah.
Aquamarine would have spontaneously combusted. It would have been great.
It could have been great.
If it was Connie, they would have turned into Stefani and everyone would have just been dead when they got to Homeworld.
Yeah.
It would have just been a bloody Stefani standing there with the sword and shield.
But
basically, if it's anyone but Lars, we don't get an arc.
Yeah, and that was my main problem during, like, trying to have an emotion during this.
Fair enough. Now, we did get to hear the voice of a new character this episode with Topaz and Topaz.
Yeah. Topaz would be sad about Topaz.
See, I actually made a note about that. I said Topaz's use of personal pronouns is weirdly sporadic, and her voice actor happens to do a lot of Spanish television.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, the voice sounded slightly familiar, and I thought, am I confusing her with somebody or am I recognizing a person? I looked it up and it's just a lot of Spanish television.
Huh. Do you watch a lot of Spanish television, Samuel?
I mean, like, when I was learning the language-ish, but I doubt it was somebody that I actually came across.
Sad.
It's alright. But that whole sentence of Topaz talking about, like, Topaz would be nothing without Topaz. We work so well together and have to hide our feelings. But I want to tell Topaz how we feel, and they feel. It's like, what? First, second, or third person, honey. You gotta pick one.
Yeah. But I was super into the what do you call it? The power struggle between Topaz and Aquamarine. And that was
super cool.
Yeah. I was like, okay, yeah. And then she's just like, but I'm gonna have you separated forever. You know, it's just like, okay, first actual villain thing that Aquamarine has done.
Yeah, I feel like their back and forth was, like, the best part of Aquamarine's character so far. Because she did that threat, and she's like, you'll be separated. I'll go back to Homeworld, and you'll never see each other again. And then when she gets, like, thrown up against the wall and pinned down everything, and then she's like, she uses her words when she knows she could have died, when she's, like, rubbing her throat.
Yeah.
And then she has the gem destabilize her, and she's just like, just unfuse, and we shall never speak of this again. It's like, okay, now we understand the power of an Aquamarine. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. That's a good establishing, like, villain thing. Not, oh, I'm a cute little baby, except that I'm not.
Can we isolate that clip?
Yeah.
Like, somebody somewhere, if I don't get around to this, please make Jonathan into a child saying that line.
Okay, gosh.
I think it would be great.
Indeed. But, yeah, like, I think her status is more intimidating than her whole, like, cute gimmick. And I like
enough.
evilly cute characters.
Yeah.
So, it's just, it's not working for me, but that fit.
Fair enough. Another thing that bothered me about this episode, Topaz's hearing was weird. So, like, the point where she has the moment of, like, what would Topaz be without Topaz? Was she just ignoring them up till then?
Yeah, what do you call
like, while they were talking and, like, actively trying to escape, was she just, like, not paying attention?
Believe so. Or what you call it, she was just putting on a solemn face. But for some reason, she listened to Onion.
Well, Onion speaks her language, her native tongue, and her little murmurs.
Murmur.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird, like... But I thought it was weird where it's just like, yeah, I'm going to let you guys make a pants lasso and try to escape.
Yeah.
For no reason.
But then she understands their struggle.
Gracious. My only other note for this is that it was a random tangential thing of I just noticed Jeb's stabilizers look a lot like the top of Black Bolt's mask from Marvel Comics. That has nothing to do with anything. I just want to be able to click off this list.
Okay. So, I think the only point we didn't really cover is after this whole escape attempt, Aquamarine threatens Topaz, and then they get taken to the homeworld and put in separate cells.
And then the background disappears in the next episode.
Yeah.
Overall, this episode, it did its job of getting us to the good stuff, but it didn't do a lot for me. It felt like there was too many convenient plot points. And it was just like, why is Topaz ignoring them? Oh, so they can have character development. Why is Topaz not stabbing Aquamarine right now? Oh, so we can have more plot. Okay, why aren't they getting in the pod and just hoping Topaz doesn't shoot them? Because the plot needs to continue. Okay, so why are we doing any of this rather than the obvious choice? And if Topaz wants to help him so dang bad, why didn't she just sacrifice herself? Oh, plot. Got it. Okay, never mind.
Well, I'd say on that point, I just felt that she wasn't really willing to make that sacrifice. These are two people she just met.
And yet she's giving them an escape pod.
Yeah, she's just I can make it an excuse if you just leave now. But if I'm found out and I'm gonna be separated, I'm gonna take the option where I'm not separated and you go to jail.
Fair enough. Still felt very plot convenient-y.
But it gave me a scene that I liked, so I was fine with that one.
It really isn't that all that matters.
But, like I said last episode, they were just villains to get us to the bigger villains.
You right.
And it really showed.
Fair enough. Alright, this episode, and I know we don't have an official ranking system, but just kind of give an idea of where I live at. Gave it a 3.5 out of 5. It was better than average because it had some cool scenes, but other than that, it just got us where we're needing to go.
I was just really aggravated that Lars was the person we were going to be stuck with all arc. Well,
this story works with no one else.
Yeah. So, I was kind of meh on this episode. I was so mad. So mad that I told you preemptively that we weren't going to do a podcast on this one.
Canceled the whole podcast because of this. Yeah, good gosh.
Because it's a terrible first episode.
I mean, comparatively, it did feel like a very nothing happening episode. Yeah. I still would have talked about it, but
if the Steven Bomb had started on the episode before and then carried out, I would have been fine. But this one just like coming back into it, it's just like meh.
Fair enough. All right, so I think we are more or less done with Stuck Together.
Yeah.
Unless you have some closing thoughts.
Nope, those were all my closing thoughts. Lars whines a lot. I will try to feel sympathy for him, but nothing comes out.
Fair enough. Plot. That's my last thought. Cue transition.
The bits.
Episode 2, The Trial. Steven stands on trial for the crime his mother committed of shattering Pink Diamond. That's literally it.
Huh? It was well done. What do you call it? It opened up a lot more insight to what happened.
Oh yeah, we got a huge bomb dropped on us on this one.
Yeah. That it was... Oh, well. We'll get to that point.
Fair enough. Alright, my first note for this one, literally the opening scene. I wrote this out, and I'm just going to read it verbatim because I don't know why I wrote it like this. Steven begins his trip into the dangerous enemy lines of Homeworld by taking this opportunity to visit the set of Hotline Bling.
Yeah! Exactly the same joke I was going to make if you didn't make it.
And I don't know why, but when I was just looking at it, I was like, why is he in Drake's box?
Yeah. It's very much a Hotline Bling filling box.
Oh, I really hope that somebody mashed together like clips of Steven in that box to be Hotline Bling.
Oh gosh.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. I just want to see him and Drake in the sweaters.
Oh gosh. You used to call me on your gem phone?
Yep. I know when my roasting flings. That can only mean one thing. Ever since I left the Homeworld you.
Oh. Gemstone Bling. I love it.
Yeah.
We got a new character here that I didn't bother to write the name of.
2. What you call it? Zarkons. Green Zarkon and blue Zarkon.
Was it green? I thought it was blue and yellow.
Oh. Is it yellow? See, I hate all the yellow gems. Because they don't have a yellow color scheme. They have like a yellow and green color scheme.
Oh, I thought you just hated the yellow gems because they're all problematic, but okay.
Oh, that too. Well, what do you call it? I like Peridot now. So
Ironically, she's green too.
yeah, and she's a yellow gem.
Well,
exactly.
Jasper's orange. She was under Pink Diamond.
We're just gonna... So, the Zarkons.
Yeah, when I was looking at that character, all I immediately thought, and I wrote it down, I just said, holy cosplay opportunity, Batman. This checks so many boxes. Like, this thing's got, like, fancy, weird clothes, a weird hair thing going on, a monocle. I was like, you're going to see this guy all over conventions.
Yeah. Also, yeah, because there will be no other place in this podcast to talk about it. There is so much Ace Attorney jokes made off of this episode, and I love it so much.
Tell me about it.
What do you call it? Blue Zarkon as Phoenix Wright, and Yellow Zarkon as Edgeworth, all these like mashups of the Ace Attorney music over the trial final scene. It's so good. I love it so much. I reblogged a lot of it on my Tumblr. It's fantastic.
Gracious. I've seen none of this, but it sounds wonderful.
Yeah. Apparently,
Now,
there's a lot of Ace Attorney fans in the Steven Universe fandom.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Now, if we can get some Professor Layton memes thrown in there, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Just get a Jim obsessed with puzzles.
You and I disagree on many things, but this is one we shall never agree on. My next note, I literally just wrote, "Ha, eyewitness," for when Eyeball showed up.
With the worst testimony, too.
Oh, I'm Rose Quartz. I have her gem and everything. And then he shot me into space.
Okay. Do you have any evidence? Just that he told you that he was Rose Quartz? And we're supposed to believe.
In the middle of space, where you guys just were and no one else for miles.
Yeah, this felt more like an Alice in Wonderland trial than the actual trial.
This is Kangaroo Court.
Yeah, just like we're waiting for a reason to chop off your head.
Pretty much so. I really liked, what did you call Phoenix Wright gem?
Zarkon. Blue.
Yeah, Zarkon. I really like Zordon and how Zordon just got too into it.
Yeah.
Like, just while defending this case, went from, am I stuck with this job, to, you know what? No, I'm a lawyer. This is going to happen. Let's do it.
Yeah. She came back, like, actually assessed the case with Steven, and you're just like, oh, you can't remember because it doesn't make sense.
It's almost like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then we get a cool scene with Blue Diamond asking Steven as Rose how exactly Rose killed Pink Diamond. And Steven doesn't know what's going on, so he just kind of makes something up. And he says there are some cool tricks, probably some jump kicks. And then I definitely was crying.
Oh, also, fun thing about this part. You line up the samurai kid's case from Ace Attorney with this exact scene, it is near parallel.
The Steel Samurai?
Yes.
Dang it, that's why I don't play Phoenix Wright. Why does the Steel Samurai have to invade everything I enjoy?
Good gosh. It's good after it.
For the uninitiated, the first Phoenix Wright game features a case called the Steel Samurai. And it is so long and unnecessary that it successfully stopped me from playing the series.
Yes.
Because I figured out who it was, and I had evidence to prove it 10 minutes into the case, and then I had to play for another hour and a half. And there was no reason for it. I had a conviction ready.
You gotta set up the scene for everybody.
I literally don't. That's the best part. I've got the evidence. We're good. It's court, not a theater.
Oh, because, good gosh, this is a full discussion on Phoenix Wright when we're talking about Steven Universe. Ace Attorney spoilers. If you do not want to be spoiled on the events of Ace Attorney 1, please skip to the designated time on screen. This time will also be available in
description as well. And then you'll be safe from the whole discussion.
So tell me how Steel Samurai lines up.
So
Tell me why I'm gonna stop watching Steven Universe.
oh gosh, it lines up in a way that one of the witnesses, Cody, the Steel Samurai number one fan, witnesses the murder, and he creates a scene of what he saw, and it's essentially with a samurai chop and a samurai kick, and then he used his mighty spear, and then we review the actual situation, just like none of that could have happened. Ace Attorney spoilers, which I will add before I say this as well.
Perfect. Make sure you make an audio warning too, so that way people who have put down their phones can, or computers. I don't know how you listen to this thing.
I'll duplicate the audio of me saying Ace Attorney spoilers, like that one.
Wonderful. One funny thing that I liked was Blue Diamond sitting there doodling the jump kick that Steven was doing.
Yes.
And I wrote in my notes, is Blue Pearl drawing Steven's jump kick to create an accurate court record? Or is she just bored?
There's no way that someone's gonna go like, oh yes, sweet jump kick. That's evidence. Like, no. Like, you can't accept that as evidence. That it's bored doodling.
I love it. Sapphire is... Or no, Pearl. Gosh, she looks like a Sapphire. Anyway, Pearl is the worst court stenographer.
Yeah.
Alright, so... Steven says, I used Bismuth's weapon to kill Pink Diamond. But then Blue Diamond gives a realization that the record has always shown that it was a sword.
Dun dun dun.
And then Zordon immediately counters with, how? How is that possible? Then he brings in the weird spider car, and he's like, hey, look at all this evidence. This doesn't make any sense. It couldn't have been rose quartz. It's almost like it was someone close to her, but someone super powerful.
But no, you're not even doing the setup though.
Go ahead, take it.
She brings out the little carriage that they come in, and then goes, look, we have like loads of defenses before you get up to an actual okay, gosh, I can't even remember, a diamond. Where were the pearls? Where were the rubies? Where were the agates? There's tons of people who should have been there to fight rose quartz, but no one was there. And why was that not a thing? Because someone told him to be somewhere else. Someone with high authority. Someone like you two.
And then I wrote down in my notes, Yellow Diamond killed, and she will kill again, starting with you, the lawyer, and Yellow you, also a lawyer.
Yes. And she did.
I wrote that. Okay. Yep, she killed 2 people.
And I was like, I wonder who did it.
Well, you know, she was already like, hey, we need to kill Rose Quartz and move on. She was pushing for it super hard. We know Yellow Diamond killed Pink Diamond. We're good. Or it's going to be like a cover-up thing of Blue Diamond did it, and then Blue Diamond got, like, repression or something. So Yellow Diamond's trying to not remind her. I don't know. It'll be something.
Did you call it? But you're forgetting something. White Diamond wasn't there.
I often forget that White Diamond is anywhere. I often forget that there's a White Diamond.
Yeah? She's very forgettable when we get the hints about her. Hopefully it's not just like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
Well, anyway. Jonathan, do you have any theories for the now game of Clue that we've been set up with by the Critterverse?
Yeah. Yellow Diamond either actually just like murdered what you call it, Pink Diamond, or is covering for White Diamond, because even Blue Diamond was just like, wait, what? And Yellow Diamond was immediately just like, okay, I need to shut this down now.
Alright, and my theory, other than Yellow Diamond doing it directly, I'm going to stick with, just for having something weird and outlandish, that Blue Diamond killed Pink Diamond and has repressed it and created a false memory of stuff that she's been told by Yellow Diamond. Maybe she was in a frenzy or something, I don't know. And that's why she can't get over the death of Pink Diamond, because she doesn't realize that it's her guilt and not her mourning.
It's totally possible that all those soldiers were there and just like it was cleared after the incident happened.
I have a point talking about this a little later on in the next episode, but there's a lot of fabricated history in Homeworld. And so I'm wondering if might Blue Diamond also be a victim of the false narrative where she's like, it's a sword. Everyone knows it's a sword. It's always been a sword. History books say it's a sword. We teach our children it's a sword.
But it wasn't a sword.
It was a baby.
Wonderful.
That's an obscure reference. Everybody go watch MASH.
I like usually just leaving it up as that's an obscure reference and then having somebody reach it somewhere.
I want people to watch MASH. I want to do a MASH podcast.
You're talking
Don't even
to the
like...
You're talking to the Rod sibling, sir.
Fine, bring your sister on. I'll talk to your sister about MASH for an hour and a half.
She's seen near almost every episode. She'll probably talk to you about Smash.
Alright, we'll start with episode 1 and work our way through. Let's go.
Gosh. But first, the Steven Universe podcast.
You know, I'm done. Call your sister. I'm doing MASH podcast now.
Gosh. So, final thoughts. Or your rating.
Before we get to final thoughts, there's one last point I'd like to talk about. This episode's interesting in its art direction because its use of minimal background, where there's not a single scene until they're flying away from the courtroom and you see it in the background of any truly defined background going on. It's all abstract colors and just even blank canvas. It's interesting. I don't know what symbolic purpose that has, if it has any at all, or if it was just meant to set a tone for the episode. But I noticed it from Drake Box, and then it just stuck with me. And I feel like it really helped the tone of this whole mystery that we have, this whole muddled past, and everything not really being defined well yet.
Oh, I like the backgrounds of this episode as well. They're very bright. Or just like, just very sleek and direct backgrounds.
Ooh, they're bright because it's the blinding light of the diamonds, making it impossible to view the past.
Why is this courtroom so dark then?
Because there is no justice, there is no shining light of truth, because yellow diamond's straight gonna zap everybody.
Fair enough.
I don't know, I'm just making stuff up as we go. Now I'm just thinking about MASH, honestly.
Jim Murder is blameless.
This wouldn't happen if the 407 was there, Jonathan. They'd heal everybody right up. I may have gotten that number completely wrong. I don't remember. But there it is. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to see a MASH podcast between me and Jonathan's sister. Because I know I would.
My sister's so extra, she wouldn't be able to stay on topic.
We'll do it an episode at a time. It'll be great.
Good gosh.
Mostly I just want it for the absurdity of why is someone doing a podcast about MASH in 2017?
Why isn't someone doing a podcast about MASH in 2017?
We could be. Me and your sister. Set it up. I'm just saying.
Good gosh.
It could be the next big thing.
Mm.
Or not.
Or not.
So, jokes aside, final thoughts for this episode?
Objection.
On what grounds?
On the grounds that... Good gosh. That Blue Zarkon's really cool.
Alright.
Also, I liked all the Ace Attorney memes that came out of this.
Fair
and
enough.
I think the turnaround was very, very well done. Although I wish there was a lot more to this episode. I wish this was a two-parter, and I didn't get the first one.
I wish
First
Zordon
part
didn't
of it.
get shot.
Same. But she only got popped. She didn't get smashed.
Zordon didn't deserve to die twice.
To Zarkon, but yeah.
Oh no, I'm directly going to call this character Zordon for Power Rangers. I don't even care.
Fair.
My final thoughts, I gave it a 5 out of 5 because I thoroughly enjoyed this episode, and it actually got my attention when the big reveal happened and the turnaround. I thought it was really cool. Just how it was delivered in the plot twist kind of scenario they had going. And the final note I haven't covered, don't tumble my rocks is a gross phrase.
Mm.
And I don't want to know what it means.
Neither do I. Oh gosh. But yeah. I was still like it's still not enough for me to like go let's do a podcast about this.
And look where we are, so something must have changed.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
Alright, Jonathan. You know what to do.
The bits. I feel like I'm just doing the Clone High say what?
Oh, gracious. You mind introing this when I need to drink some water? My voice is leaving me.
So, what do you call it? Yeah, this is Off Colors. Off Colors is about Steven and Lars's escape after getting away in the carriage from the trial. And then they meet kind of the form gems.
They meet the bootleg gems.
Yeah, essentially. and in their attempt to save them from search bots or search gems.
It was very Terminator. It was weird.
Yeah. And Steven's John Connor.
What does that make Lars?
The like off of the next episode.
All right. Fair enough. Well played. I titled this episode "Steven Visits the Island of Misfit Toys."
Indeed. But you get an assortment of cool new characters in this one.
Do we?
We get the Ruby that can only... Not Ruby, what'd you call it? Sapphire? Yeah. You get the Sapphire that can only see into the past.
I'm gonna do a rant about Paparazzi. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a rant about her.
Alright.
Who else do we meet, Jonathan?
Huh?
Who else do we meet, Jonathan?
We get the fusion grandma caterpillar.
Fluorite.
Yeah, Fluorite. Okay. I don't have all the names. I definitely don't have all the names.
I've only got 2. The rest have mean nicknames.
Okay, and we got the conjoined gems.
Harvey Dent. I didn't write that one down.
Oh gosh. So mean to these gems.
It had 2 faces.
Good gosh. Yeah, that's... Oh, yeah. Also, not Garnet?
I just wrote Diet Garnet.
Okay. So, yeah, and that's the new squad. The Off-Colors.
Super good name for a mediocre group.
I saw a lot of pictures doing like the intro with all the off-color characters, and then Sapphire coming in with the "We are the off-colors" late.
Oh boy, we're gonna have fun with that one, but we'll get there.
So,
tell me what you thought of the characters before I tear half of them down.
They're all nice. What you call it? Creepy grandma wasn't much of a character.
Creepy
just like,
grandma.
we can refuse with you if you want to. It was just like, okay, calm down.
Creepy grandma.
Yeah, it's just
Oh my gosh.
We fuse with a lot of people. We can fuse with you too. It's just like,
If you're the right one.
Yeah.
Not just fusing with anybody.
Good gosh. We're not gonna fuse shame the grandma.
No, it's funny. The reason I'm laughing at creepy grandma is because in Fluorite's description, I wrote creepy grandma.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and read Fluorite's now because it's not that interesting. I said, Fluorite, Diet Falcor, who is a polyamorous relationship and sounds like a creepy grandma gem. That's all I got.
It's got like a...
No, that was all I had.
Okay. So, yeah, she didn't get too much contribution in a lot of the scenes. I really want to remember the conjoined Jim's name, because she kind of like, well, they kind of led the group very well, and I was like, yeah, okay, I like this gym or these gyms. Well, they're together in one, so I like them.
All right, so tell me what you thought of Diet Garnet.
Uh, I think the bit can get really stale, but it wasn't like too bothersome for me. It was just like, okay. And I think the joke could have been done better in some points. Just like there's plenty of times where this could be funny.
For Diet Garnet?
Yeah. Oh no, Diet Garnet. Diet Garnet. Sorry, my bad. Diet Garnet.
Yeah.
Scaredy cat character. Yeah. That's it. Literally, her purpose was to overreact to the situation.
Fair enough. I can't find the name of Two-Headed Gem anywhere.
I know I've seen it. I've definitely seen it. But yeah, and then yeah, Sapphire, the bit kid where then.
All right. Stop me when I've gone too far.
Okay.
Okay. So I've already covered Fluorite, Diet Falcor. For Diet Garnet, whose name I don't remember nor care about, I said Diet Garnet needs to try reforming and maybe get a stress ball or a fidget spinner or something.
Yeah.
Like, that was basically the answer minus the cute romance elements. And then you enhance the anxiety by like 20 and make that a character. And I'm sure someone will associate with her, and good for you. I hope that it helps you come to terms in finding yourself and becoming a more comfortable person in your own skin. But for me, she was just plot character who screams things.
Yeah. I can see that.
I really like Two-Face. Two-Face Gem was super cool. It felt, I don't know why, but it gave me a very Avatar The Last Airbender vibe. And it was just like, yeah, I for some reason imagined these two in like the Earth Kingdom in like season 1.
Yeah, and I feel like that was the character out of this group that I was just like, yeah, this is best character out of this group.
Agreed. That's a character I'd like to see like join up with the Crystal Gems when they get to Homeworld or get to Earth.
Yeah.
I think that'd be neat.
Neat.
And
Otherwise,
now, for my favorite character,
yeah,
Paparazza.
Paparazza.
Let me go ahead and read out just what I wrote. Diet Sapphire needs a helmet or a bubble or just not to be written into the script. She reminds me of an annoying, helpless escort mission in a character out of a Nintendo game that was probably overpriced and wasn't that good to begin with. I'll find it in a GameStop or something, and then I'll spend an hour and a half trying to get her to turn a corner, and then she'll say something witty and I'm supposed to think it's charming when it was said 20 minutes too late for me to care.
That's fair.
I feel like the bit was funny after 2 and then she should have been popped. This is the character that the search drones should have gotten. Let us know that they're powerful and that they mean business. Also, just kind of get some things out of the way. Maybe clear up the space a little bit for the other characters to do some running around.
Yeah.
And all that was written in a very angry paragraph.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't like Paparazzi at all.
Okay, gosh. You said her actual name, and I just think Papa Roach.
Diet Sapphire, then. Like, even her power doesn't make sense. Because, like, I have visions about things that are around me. That's called seeing. We all have that. All you're doing is commenting on things after the fact and kind of being a jerk.
Well, it's a thing of, what do you call it? Since sapphires can see the future, and that's how they just move around. Because, what do you call it? I feel like that's what the hair is supposed to symbolize. Just like they're going around blind, and literally their future visions guide them.
Right, but she has present vision. She can just see stuff.
No, she has past vision. She can see stuff like 2 minutes later.
And it was annoying. I saw what happened. I don't need a recap.
Yeah. But it probably would have been better to just do the gimmick of she can see what's happening right now.
Pop her. Pop her. Out of all the Planeteers, she would be Heart. But she would leave her ring at home.
I did see someone try to like make a comic out of how her power could be useful. It was a drawing of when the events of the next episode happened, and then she narrated what was happening back on Earth.
Maybe. Maybe. I want her to pop.
Fair.
I want her to pop, to be bubbled, shatter her, if for all I care. That'd be cool. We haven't seen anyone shattered in a while.
Yes.
Give the internet someone to cry for.
Well, I think they'll just like keep this as a group they come back to every now and then when we see Lars.
They couldn't stand on their own as a like standalone episode, I don't think, because Fluorite talks too slow. Diet Garnet won't ever do anything. Paparazzi needs a helmet or a bubble. And then you just have two-headed Harvey Dent Gem trying to get stuff done and Lars being over everything.
Yeah. It's a thing where it'll probably just like be a flash of just like, yeah, this is what they're doing now, and then going back to the actual like scenario at hand.
Fair enough. All right, we've talked about those new characters for a bit, but we haven't talked on what happens in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
And that's mostly my fault, so I apologize to the listeners who may get tired of me complaining about our Diet off-brand special value soda characters. Lars gets a redemption arc by throwing rocks and believing in himself. And he doesn't even have to sing to do it.
Nope.
Though how cool would it be to have a rock opera medley of Lars smashing stuff?
Yeah. With his Slagmite club.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. So, he goes all caveman and starts smashing stuff.
And it was super cool. And Lars says it was the coolest thing he ever did in his life. And then what happens?
And then he died.
Lars not only died, he was so dead that his hair lost its shape and covered one eye.
Womp womp.
It reminded me of Scott Pilgrim where they punched the highlights out of Knives' hair. It's like, oh my god, they killed his product.
Good gosh.
But Lars died. It was a very serious scene.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was like, oh my gosh. And then Steven grasps Lars in a devastated state and cries. And then something amazing happens.
He revives. Or just turns pink.
And then gets back up and has a cool scar. Lars is the official Steven Universe Season 2 palette swap character.
He's the Witcher.
I don't know if there's a trope name for this, but a lot of shows that are either anime or anime influenced will do a thing where a character will die and basically Gandalf the Grey, Gandalf the White themselves, where they come back with a palette swap and then they'll update it in the theme song and it'll be like, oh cool, now they're a different color and nothing else.
Literally. Oh.
Go ahead.
This is literally how The Witcher starts.
It's also the beginning of Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go Season 2.
Yeah.
Who remembers that show?
I do. I like the episode where he had to outrun the zombies.
You know, whenever I bring that show up, they always go to the zombie episode. Not the point. But yeah, now Lars is pink and fluffy.
And The Witcher.
And The Witcher.
Just, like, literally, I didn't even do anything of, like, researching or anything. I saw that, I got up, I typed it in, and it was just, like, the scars in the same place, change of hair color, resurrected, Lars is the Witcher.
Fair enough. Good gosh.
Yeah, I was just like, this is exactly the same. But we're getting a bit too ahead.
Now let's compare people to other video game characters. We compared Paparazzi to a knockoff or a crappy escort mission character. Lars is the Witcher.
Sriracha, Papa Roach.
Sriracha Papa Roach.
She's being the most compared to Princess Peach.
Yeah. Only Princess Peach does something in Smash Bros.
And in her own game.
Super Princess Peach, a super solid DS game that no one talks about. Fun fact, I bought that game the day it came out and they gave me a free button.
Yeah. Do you still have that button?
I do, because I was the first person at that game store to buy the game, or ask about the game, or even care.
Wonderful.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, it came out today and no one's asked for it, so we have all this promotional stuff.
Alright.
I was excited. I like Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good game. It really is.
It looked like a good game.
I mean, it's like a basic Nintendo side-scroller, which, you know, isn't the best sometimes. But the emotion mechanic was cool, and they used some innovative ideas for that. It had a nice sub-story with her sentient umbrella, who I'm sad because they're originally going to use the sentient umbrella for the next Smash game that came after that, but they didn't. They made Peach's parasol instead, which then became an item in Animal Crossing, and I'm sad that I can't have my parasol friend in Animal Crossing. So that's all over the place. I haven't had a way to talk about that.
Yeah. What do you call it? But we got Spirit Tracks attack in Smash 4. Womp womp.
It's okay.
So, yeah, that summarizes this episode. I kind of just was like, why doesn't just Steven use his healing power?
Because you can't heal dead, Jonathan.
Like, literally, right as it happened, he wasn't like dead. He was dead like a second when he waited.
Fair enough.
Just like, oh my gosh, Lars. Oh no, what am I going to do? It's not like I have a healing power or something. Let me check his pulse after 5 minutes of panicking.
His friend died. Leave him alone.
I'm sorry. I was just like, just use your healing power. Just use your healing power. Oh, you're going to cry. You're going to use your healing power.
Jonathan, some people don't handle situations when their friends are hurt well.
Cry faster.
I'm not trying to call you out in this podcast. We're going to move on. All right.
Gosh.
I gave this one a 4 out of 5 because half the off colors killed me. They hurt me on a cellular level.
This episode was okay.
Still not podcast worthy.
I don't know. This is the point where I was just like, okay, stuff is happening.
Closure on the death of Pink Diamond isn't enough happening for you?
No. Again, this episode was stuff is happening.
Good gosh.
What'd you call it? The trial was kind of like, okay, yeah. But I still don't have much to say about it besides that I like the courtroom vibes. So, this one was a lot to take in with everyone hiding out in the hole and Lars getting his moment of redemption and then finding out what happened to Pink Diamond. Or finding out the true identity of Lion.
A dead cat.
Although I always like speculated it was kind of just like, oh, okay, now it's legitimately confirmed.
You expected Lion to be a dead cat?
A dead diamond is what I expected.
Oh, is Lion Pink Diamond? I didn't get that vibe. I just thought it was a dead lion.
Oh no, what did you call it? It's very, very much Pink Diamond.
How so?
It's heavily insinuated that Rose probably tried to do the same thing Steven did with Lars, and that was the result.
So why didn't Lars turn into an animal?
Oh, because Lars isn't a gem. As we've seen in the past, broken gems turn into like animals and creatures.
When did that happen?
Corrupted gems. Remember?
Oh yeah, I kind of block out Jasper arcs.
Not Jasper, the centipede one.
Aw, Chaps. I miss Chaps.
Yeah, Chaps was an actual person. And then after her gem got corrupted, she turned into the caterpillar thing.
I don't know. I'm still on the fence.
But
Because people are also saying that Lion was rose quartz for the longest time, so I'm still iffy.
I feel very affirmed in this theory because what you call it, he even goes back and goes like, so you're
We're not there yet, buddy.
okay, fair.
We're getting there though, guys. We talked about this one for a while because I had a lot to say about Parappa the Rapper. Jonathan,
Yeah.
closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts that I kind of said on my closing thoughts.
Cool. Pop Diet Sapphire and put Perry in Super Smash Bros.
Wonderful. the bits.
Well, that just made me sad. Alright, last episode is Lars's head. Jonathan, you do this while I drink a medley of water.
Okay. So, Lars is still alive. Steven can go in Lars's head. Where does this lead? The same place as Lime's head. Except it's across, like, the field and stuff, so it's like Steven's tree and then Steven's mom's tree. So, what do you call it? Lars. I thought of a horrible joke.
Go for it.
Lars actually has purpose.
Yay.
Good gosh. No. Lars is a wonderful character for this, but he has horrible bumps that I don't like. So, yeah. Lars is now a warp gate from Earth to Homeworld, and Steven goes home and greets everybody while they're on the search for him.
Cool. Let's get into it. First note I had was Lars saying, "I was away from life" is the new Deadpool saying he likes to unalive people in Ultimate Spider-Man.
I thought the same.
So from now on, we'll be referring to death as being away from life.
Being away from life.
And then...
Does that make me a zombie?
Yeah. Then Diet Garnet going, "Oh gosh, what's a zombie?" I really like the line, "You might feel a slight foot in your head."
Yeah.
But nervous Steven listening for Lars's heartbeat was the best joke of the special. Of just him putting his head to Lars's chest and not hearing anything and his eyes going super wide.
Yeah. Every time they put, like, Steven in a panic state and instantly sweat appears on his face, I love it.
I also said that this special has really solid dialogue and banter between Lars and Steven.
Yeah.
Like, it was
They
just real
definitely
strong.
built it up. Sorry.
No, that was it.
They really built it up the chemistry between them for these episodes.
Oh yeah, they felt like buddies after this. Like, it feels like they had character growth.
Yeah.
Like, in the first one, they argue with each other, but then Lars just like Steven going, "How do you feel? Do you feel good?" Patty's like, "No, I just feel like everything's awful." And he's like, "Well, everything is awful, so I mean, at least we share that feeling." It's like, okay, cool. Steven's growing up a little. Lars is opening up a little bit. Everyone's getting better.
Yeah. I don't remember much about everybody else, but I remember the attempts of trying to get Lars to warp through his own head.
Breaking his elbow.
Yeah. And that scene was great.
That was solid. Also, when they popped through Lars's head, like, for the first time, I had a realization that, because whenever I've thought of Steven going in lion's mane, I thought, like, oh, it's soft lion fur. But now Steven's just running through a field of hair, and that's gross. My exact note was, ew, Hair World is not made less weird when you add Ghibli music.
Okay, gosh.
Because that's exactly what they did. It was Ghibli, like, Spirited Away music.
But haven't they always used that music when doing it?
I don't know, man. I was just looking around. I was like, this is gross hair. No, this music doesn't fix this. Stop it.
Okay, gosh. What do you think lion's been?
Well, it's like, I don't know. Fur is different from human hair, you know? Like, people make coats out of fur, and they're hundreds of thousands of dollars. People who make hair out of, or coats out of human hair, it's suddenly very different and concerning. Like, I'm not trying to walk through human hair.
Yeah. What you call it? As a person who owns a wig, it's just like, it's not that bad.
Well, a wig is different from actual living human hair.
Does actual living human hair have a portal?
I mean, it might. You never know.
Like, unless there's like
hair.
product in there and stuff, it's just like, it's not horrible.
Some people's hair holds great mysteries, Jonathan.
Like dandruff?
I'm not trying to walk through human hair, is the point of this. Anyway, a big problem I had with this episode, and yes, I've had a problem with every episode, there's an easy solution for getting Lars back home. Now that he has magic portal powers. What was that?
Bring him back in the ship?
No, like, they could do it, like, right now. Alright.
Oh, what did you call it? Oh, are you just gonna talk about his, like, his portal powers in general, or his hair portal powers?
Oh, we're gonna do the whole thing. Alright.
Okay.
My solution. Steven goes back home.
Mm-hmm.
And we use a power we haven't seen in a while. We use Lion's ability to roar and create portals.
Why not just punch Lars in the guts and do the same thing?
Because we don't know if Lars can do that yet. He might not be equated with his magical pink magic yet. But we know Lion can confidently do it. So
When he wants to.
when he wants to. So we have Steven go back home, tell everyone the plan. Then he goes back through to Homeworld, gets all the off-color gems, brings them to Earth. Lion does the roar. They all go to Homeworld. Lars climbs through Lion. Lion makes another roar portal back to Earth. Everyone's good.
Wait. Can't Lion only go to places that Lion's been before?
But if Lion is Pink Diamond, as you've said, we're good.
Huh. I don't think they could just, like, teleport to where they are, though. But they could definitely teleport to Homeworld easily.
They can get to him. They don't need a ship.
Yeah. But how they... Oh, well, yeah. Wait. How would they get back?
They all go... Alright. They do a portal. Lars goes through the portal.
Yeah.
Then they all just go through Lion into Lars.
But they gotta find him first. Oh, shoot. Which is even harder because they blocked off the entrance.
You act like they can't fusion into Alexandrite and move a rock. There are ways to make this work.
I just say travel back through Lars's head, uncover it, and then fight off Homeworld.
Well, I'm just saying trying to get everyone back. Like, because we can't get Lars through his own head. Just bring Lion.
Empire Takedown. In the series already.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm just trying to get Lars home. Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay. So, next sad thing. I'm worried Lars can't do his cooking thing anymore because he isn't ever hungry. I'm hoping that goes away. Because I really like that aspect of Lars' character.
Well, you could just be like Amethyst and just eat regardless.
Yeah. I just hope they don't get rid of the cooking thing. What?
They're not. But who wants to be like Amethyst?
Dang. Alright, everybody. You've all left now, so... Thanks for watching. Those of you that stick around, we got more if you want it.
She was a horrible character in the mobile game. She had bad stats.
So what happens if you cut Lars's hair? Is it still a portal?
I don't think you can cut it anymore.
Like, is it like Tangled rules where once it's cut, it just turns like gray, dead, lifeless, or?
I think you get the scissors and it would just go through.
I really hope that Lars, when he's 40 years old, likes his half-shaved head.
Yeah, because he's essentially dead now. He's stuck with that hair forever.
Man, I really hope he didn't want to change anything about his personality for the rest of eternity.
But there's a lot to change.
Alright, now Jonathan's calling shots on people.
Good gosh. But, I don't know. Yeah, I think there's a lot that Lars will have to, like, deal with now. Lars will be more important within the series. Unlike Ronaldo. I hope he gets pushed off even more.
Why are you calling out Ronaldo? He wasn't even in this season.
Exactly! I need to call him out so he can't come back in.
Let it be like Dragon Ball Z where they just forget he's a character.
Gosh. Yeah,
alright. I was gonna throw in another way that Steven can get around this.
Okay.
Alright, what if Steven goes and gets a random mammal from Earth, something with hair, brings it back to Homeworld, kills it, cries on it, brings it back to life. Then they all go through the through the mammal to lion to get back, and then they just leave whatever the animal is. So I can just be a like zombie gerbil or something just crawling around that kindergarten.
Just the image of just like Steven having to just brutally murder something.
I mean, you don't have to brutally do it, it's just an option.
Yeah, but you know he's gonna like mess up the first time and he's not gonna do it hard enough. And then he's gonna just have to keep on going.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't trying to make it that dark. I just wanted Steven's sensitive soul to make him cry so that he could have an easy way out.
The sadistic thought in me is just like he messes up the first time and then heals and then just goes, oh no, I have to kill it more.
Good gosh. Alright. Well, one serious point I wanted to talk about. We get another glimpse at Homeworld's use of propaganda from Diet Garnet saying that Homeworld was in ruin, or that Earth was in ruin and destroyed. And so I'm wondering if Homeworld has like North Korea levels of propaganda where Earth is there, North America.
Yeah, I thought it was just like everyone was just like, hey, we set a cluster there. That's just gone.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of false history traveling around what happens on Earth.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if Yellow Diamond hasn't made a false narrative to keep gems from going to Earth.
Yeah, because if you let anybody find out about what happened on Earth, that gems rebelled and fought against other gems, there's gonna be an uprising because Homeworld is garbage.
Yeah.
So, if you let out like, hey, rebel gems learned about fusion and fused with other gems, and then fought off the other, the Homeworld soldiers in a big gigantic war, people are gonna go nuts. They're gonna go, hey, we can do that. We can be rebel gems. Hey, that ain't gonna fly. That's a rebellion.
You're right.
On your home planet. So you say, yeah, we won.
Yeah, good job, everybody. Woo. We did it. No one ever talk about Earth again.
Exactly. And who's gonna talk about it? Nobody who's there came back.
You're right. They all stayed on Earth, where it's awesome.
Or they all died on Earth, where it's awesome.
I mean, I didn't say they chose to stay on Earth.
Mm. True.
Line. Oh gosh, line. Line's Lars. Lars's line of saying, "Let me be someone that deserved it," was really well delivered.
Hmm.
And it just felt like the end point to Lars's redemption arc. Of he was saying he's a person that's too weak to do anything, and all he does is hide. And I was like, yeah, it's time for me to get myself together, get my life going. Let me be a person that deserves this gift you've given me, Steven, of eternal life, pink skin, and magical hair.
Although, no final words to say, Sadie.
He'll come back. He'll come back. He'll be back like in 2 episodes.
I feel like this is building up to a big finale.
Mm.
Because like we're on the final legs of finding out stuff.
Until we find out about Chartreuse Diamond.
And that sounds like a gigantic OC.
Because all the other colors were taken. But Lars is like, let me deserve it thing. It reminded me of... Did you watch X-Men Evolution?
Yes.
Yeah. I know you had a thing against Teenage Rogue, so... do you remember Spike?
Yes.
You remember what happened to...
grandson.
Yeah, you remember what happened to Spike?
Not specifically.
He finds... And I may be putting their location wrong. I think they're sewer mutants. But he finds a bunch of them, and then he finds out that they need like guidance and stuff, and they all start turning to him for a leader. So he leaves the X-Men to help them out. And my exact note was, let me be someone that deserved it, was also a good line. And it reminds me of X-Men Evolution when they got rid of Spike, or any time that a voice actor or an actor has to leave a work to go work on another project. So I'm wondering if that's the case with Lars. His actor's off to do another thing or something. Or if it's just a momentary thing for plot.
I think it's a momentary thing for plot. Because those characters, no matter how, like, ragtag they look like key players.
I don't know, man. We never saw the sewer mutants again in X-Men Evolution. Maybe in the final battle between Yellow Diamond and the Crystal Gems, they'll be losing, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Lars will come with a rose quartz flag and a bunch of the off-color gems.
And it shall be wonderful.
Absolutely. Last note I had for this, other than my ranking, was that Stephen and Greg hugging at the end was wonderful. It was very cute. Well, I'm sorry that fraternal love is boring to you, Jonathan. I mean, I thought it was a touching moment.
Gosh.
No, we're filming this it's now 1:49 in the morning.
Yeah. Which I apologize for postponing this so late.
Don't even worry about it. My final ranking for this, and then I'll hand it over to you for final thoughts because I've kind of rambled on this one. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was good. I felt like a lot of the story elements are going to be too easy to resolve with the powers that they've set up. So I think it's another instance of what we talked about last time, where our power levels are too high to have this tier of problems now.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z problems.
Yeah. So if you want to do your final thoughts, I'll do my final thoughts. We can talk about the Steven Bomb as a whole, and then we can get out of here.
Yeah. My final thoughts on this episode was it's essentially just wrapping up everything. Going through like just Lars being a warp, essentially. I feel like they're gonna definitely visit him a lot more, or maybe it will just be a thing of just like revisit it at the last episode. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot more. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of explaining of that, and the misconception of Earth being gone. And yeah, I feel like this is the start of a revolution.
This reminds me of the My Life as a Teenage Robot movie finale, Escape from Cluster Prime, where you find out that Cluster Prime is attacking... Oh, spoilers for My Life as a Teenage Robot. Cluster Prime is attacking Earth because XJ9 has been portrayed as a robot murderer and like a threat to Cluster and their society. So I feel like that's what's going to happen here. Also, I feel bad for Sadie because, one, her boyfriend's very far away, and now he's pink, and Sadie doesn't like girly stuff.
Yes.
I hope they bring Lars back. I really do. With all the growth that he had, I'd hate for it to go to waste. I'd like to see how he interacts with Beach City again in our light-hearted episodes.
I think it will be a nice... I know, what you call it, there's enough, like, anime weeps on the team to just go, like, a full in-theme, well, intro theme, kind of mentally, with all the things wrapping up at the end of the series.
As long as they don't end it like Evangelion, I'm happy.
Congratulations! Squawk, squawk.
There's something for you to Google, guys. Alright, Jonathan, thoughts on this whole 1 hour special as a whole?
This is a good bomb.
Yeah, I agree. Any notes, thoughts, likes, dislikes you want to throw out there before we wrap up?
At first I was just like, there's nothing that they could drop in this thing to make me go like, oh, okay, let me reconsider my decision on it. But there was a lot. There's a lot that wasn't covered. There's a lot that was explained, and there's a lot still to explain. It answered questions and gave us a lot more. So, I think this was a good bomb.
Fair enough. I feel like this one has a lot more than the last one, where the last one was mostly built up. This one built up to something, but also felt like a satisfying narrative in itself. There were some plot holes, but overall, it was an enjoyable ride, and I could overlook a few things that could be patched up in the future, a few holes, for the sake of having a better Steven Universe storyline. Alright guys, before we head out, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to the first and only comment that we've gotten thus far on the first episode of The Bits from Kelly True Thoughts. And Kelly's little comment can go here. of what she said about us, and it was very complimentary, and we appreciate it. So go check Kelly out. She's got cool videos. Once again, that was Kelly True Thoughts.
Thank you.
Hopefully you listened to this all the way through so you could hear us, and hopefully you guys will show her a little bit of love, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And you guys, let us know what you thought of the Steven Bomb, what you thought of our thoughts, what do you think of the bits, anything you want us to add or take out. We'd love to improve and grow this little podcast because it's still in its very early stages of just kind of being abstract.
Also, don't get too mad at me for my hot takes on characters. I don't mean most of them, but I can have a mean-spirited thought every once in a while.
I stand by Diet Sapphire, just right in the middle of the frame, shattered, close up on her face, as she will realize she died 2 minutes after it happened. It'll be great.
Good gosh.
Alright guys, so thanks for hanging out with us. This has been The Bits.
The Bits!
From Homeworld to Beach City and all the cosmos in between. We thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to Something About Geek Stuff for all your nerdy needs. I have been Sam.
Wait, what you call it? Isn't this part where you talk about, what you call it, your number one
Jonathan.
place for nerdy
Jonathan, are you there?
content?
He has left me, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. Victor, are you still alive?
I'm alone.
What happened?
Well, subscribe to the channel for more geeking content.
There you are. Jonathan, what happened?
Ah, gosh. Samuel?
You cut out. I did a whole bit. Like I went through all the spiel and you weren't there to do your "and I'm Jonathan."
That's wonderful.
What happened in your world? What has the timeline changed?
I was like, isn't this the part where you talk about your geeky content and all that jazz?
It's exactly what I did, Jonathan.
And then I was like, Samuel? I guess I gotta do it then.
Alright, you can have fun editing that. We'll try it again.
Yeah.
Alright, everybody, from Homeworld to Beach City and everywhere in between. Oh gosh, I messed it up. You know, just run both scenarios and let people know what happened in our alternate timeline.
Good gosh.
Anyway, from
Alright.
Homeworld to Beach City and all the cosmos in between, this has been the Bits of Steven Universe podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to Something About Geek Stuff for all your nerdy needs. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and our new Tumblr, which is still getting put together, but it's going to be another place for you to share all our videos if you feel so inclined. We'd love to have you guys help us out there. I have been Sam.
And I've been Jonathan.
Thanks for watching. Jonathan, cue that outro before I die of laughter.
Hey gosh. The Bit.